So this is a thread that I want to talk about first because of Yoshipi's comment during the live letter that people will be filling up their glamour dressers too fast. Now, look, he's meant this as a joke. It was obviously a joke and not something to get bent out of shape about. That said, it's still a good thing, like a good thing to think about. Should the development team stop roll locking gear for glamour purposes? I haven't thought about this a lot, honestly, before I've seen this thread today. Then I remembered that in my glamour dresser, I do have like multiple copies of the exact same item for different jobs, even though it's the same color, it's the same model, it's the same design, and I have to collect 4 or 5 of these damn things so that I can choose to wear them on any job. And it's incredibly annoying. If Yoshipi feels the need to beg players not to fill their glamour dressers, then the development team, this was a joke. Okay, first of all, like I said, that was a joke. They need to stop roll locking gear for glamour purposes. Yeah, so it makes sense to have roll locked gear for combat, for battle content, but it doesn't really make sense to have those same restrictions, I think, when it comes to the glamour dresser, with the exception of maybe like AF gear and weapons. I really cannot think of a single good reason why the roll lock should exist for the glamour dresser. I really can't. Yeah, it makes no sense to roll lock for glamour when I can tank while visually naked, except for undergarments and weapon. Unless I'm a monk, in which case, even the weapon can be hidden. Yeah, I mean, you can tank with no gear on. You can tank with a bikini on. I support this because I really want to be able to use the ninja tombstone headpiece that was like a veil. What was it called? Let me find it. Well, maybe chat knows. Chat, what was that headpiece that ninjas could buy with tombstones? That's like, oh man, I really, really want it for my dancer. Moon Ward. Yeah, okay. Moon Ward scouting. The Moon Ward veil. Yes. That's it. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love it so much. Another reason why I think it would be a good idea to remove the roll locks for glamour chest, with the exception of AF gear and weapons, is that a lot of times we get gear that is from old Final Fantasy games. Like, it's a callback to other Final Fantasy games, like iconic gear sets from different characters. This happened with the Bajra gear, actually. There was like FF11 gear that you could get from Bajra, but a lot of it was roll locked, which felt really bad because those felt like cosplay sets, and being locked out of some of those cosplay sets just because of the rolls seemed dumb when you can get cosplay sets on the Mog Station. Like, if you can get an Ishola set on the Mog Station or an old Thancred set, then you should be able to get, like, I feel like that's its own category of gear sets, which shouldn't be roll locked. What glamour changes are coming? We're just gonna get the number of slots to the glamour dresser doubled. So we'll have 800 slots instead of 400. So it's really good news. But people are saying that maybe we could use those slots more efficiently if you didn't have to collect several versions of the same item, just so you could use them on different rolls. I know what Yoshipi said was a joke, but this is the internet. And a fine minority of people is going to take that comment as Yoshipi mocking them for having multiple sets, the exact same looking gear. I know people are going to take that in the least charitable way possible, but I feel like that's kind of beside the point, because I think the suggestion is actually a good one. Yeah, it could reduce the number of items that you want to store. Just to demonstrate the silliness of roll locking gear for glamour for reasons like a tank should look like a tank, not a healer, I propose that everyone created Emperor's New Clothes glamour set and use it September 2nd through September. Wait, what? Wait, is this in a... Oh, wait. Is this a protest that you're forming? Is this a naked protest? What? Feel free to substitute your favorite swimsuit. Hold up. This is true. That this is, I think this is kind of a ship that has sailed. This argument that a tank should look like a tank, not a healer. I feel like this is not the case at all in Final Fantasy XIV. Because if you can play a tank and wear a bikini, or you can play a tank and buy the pretty princess robe from the Mog Station, which is an actual like billowing giant princess dress, if you can wear that while tanking as a warrior, then this thing is like this already this is out the window. This is long out the window. There's tons of dresses that you can get and wear on any job. Like housing, the glamour system is one that people are not going to be happy about until we get, I don't know, until we get either be able to put every glamour item in either the armoire or the glamour dresser. Or something like WoW's transmog, which I think is not happening. I think if something like WoW's transmog was possible, then we would get information and updates about them working towards that instead of just them continuing to update the glamour dresser. Context on what transmog is. So for transmog, when you loot an item with a unique appearance, it goes into your collection, which is not an inventory, but it's just like checked off for you in your collection book, which means that you don't need to have the item in your inventory and you can delete the item. But then when you go to do glamour on yourself, you have the option you can choose to use anything for glamour that you've already checked off in your collection. So it's like a database of things you've collected without having to actually hold on to them. It's absolutely amazing. I'm fine with the roll locking, especially roll locked accessories, because as we saw in the past, people use it to cheese their eye level into content. If they don't, well, this is, I mean, yeah, but that's about battle roll locking. Like, I think roll locking should be there for battle, for going to a dungeon. Like, it should be there. But when it comes to the glamour dresser, I think all bets are off, and you should be able to be as creative as possible and use as many different glamour pieces as possible. I really do not see why it should stay like that. The armoire needs to be expanded to accept more than like 12 items. Yes. I'm always shocked whenever they add something new to the Mog Station and it can't be put in the armoire. I don't understand why some things can't go in the armoire, especially if it's a new item. I'd like to be able to store dyes in the glamour dresser. See, that seems like an incredibly practical and common sense improvement to the glamour dresser. There should be like a dye rack where you could put dyes in, like put a certain number of dyes into it and just keep them there instead of having a million dyes floating around your inventory. Right now, I'm using my Chocobo saddlebag inventory for dyes. That's usually what it's for. Someone said they already have a fix in place. Disciples of War and Disciples of Magic. Put the split back on all gear for glams. So when you put it in the glamour dresser, make it so it's either a Disciple of War piece or a Disciple of Magic piece. I feel like that would be a decent compromise. Like, that could satisfy most people. Here's what they should do. Every time you collect an item that's unique, that has a unique appearance, you should be able to buy it back later from the Calamity Salvager. So just like, have it so you can buy back any item that you've already collected from him. I don't know. They need to start thinking more creatively about it. Outfit slots. Ouch. I think if they made it so that job quest gear could go in the case like the level 45 ones. Yeah. It would already be a decent fix. Right now, God, it's such a mess with the job gear. because some of it, like from Shadowbringers and Endwalker, it's safe to delete that because you can just buy it back from those particular vendors. But then there's some job gears that are harder to buy back, like it's harder to get again. I don't know. Last time I tried to sort out my inventory for that, it was very confusing. It was very confusing. Transmog. One day.